The psyche of success is about defining who you are and who you want to be. When you go through your life and you look at the way that you're managing your time and managing the things that go into your world, it reminds me of a story that Stephen Covey told in one of his books. He was recounting being in a class where this professor comes to the front and says, "I want to tell you a story today and I want your input on this." And he pulls out this great big jar and he starts with putting these big rocks into the jar. He says, "Now my question for you is, when you think about this jar as your life, and we just put all of these things in here, is your life now full?" And everybody in the class is like, "Well, yeah, it looks like it's full. The big rocks are filling it to the top." He said, No, it's not." Then he pulls out another jar that has this gravel in there, starts pouring it in, shaking it around. The gravel goes all around the big rocks. He said, "Now is it full?" The students are catching on and they're like, no, I don't think so." Then he pulls out sand and he pours it in there and shakes the jar around, pours some more, shakes the jar until the sand shifts all the way through the gravel. He says, "Now is it full?" Now they've really caught on. They're like, "No!" So then he pulls out a jar of water and slowly pours it in there, and the water goes around the sand and the gravel and the big rocks until it goes all the way to the top. He says, "Now is it full?" And the students say, "Yeah, now it's full." Then he asks the question, "What's the lesson?" Person on the front row raises their hand and she says, "You can always fit more in your life." And this professor's like, "No, that is not the lesson I wanted you to get. The lesson is, if I would have started with water, the little bitty miscellaneous things in life, I never would have gotten to the point of putting the really important things into my life, the big rocks." What I want you to do this week is think about what are the big rocks in your life. What are the things that are most important, like being healthy, spending time with your family, doing something that matters, like expanding your education or reading a book. What are the things that you really value that maybe you've been putting off because you put sand or gravel or water into your life before the big rocks? The big rocks matter. Do those things first.